Motion is referred to Committee on Finance, Labor, Employment and Productivity, as well as National Planning. Most distinguished colleagues, the 15th order of the day is a motion on the need to investigate funding structure of beneficiaries of the national budget and casual factors of the demand for exemption from envelope system by some institutions of government standing in the names of Honorable Nasir Boyega Isiaka, Honorable Ibrahim Ayokunle Isiaka. Honorable Boyega is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Boyega Isiaka. I represent the people of Yewa North, Imekwa, from Federal Constituency of Ogun State. And with your leave, Honorable Speaker, I go ahead to move this motion, sponsored by myself and co-sponsored by Honorable Ibrahim Ayokunle Isiaka, who is the chairman of National Planning and Economic Development Committee, who is unavoidably absent this afternoon. And I go ahead, Mr. Speaker. The House notes the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended on budgeting, which made the executive and the legislature the main actors in the budget process in the country. And also notes section 4, 59, 80 to 81 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended specifically detail the powers and responsibilities of the two arms of government on how monies accruing to the country may be expended over a time. The House is aware that the National Assembly, under section 80 and 81 of the Constitution, is responsible for oversighting...
Leader, please approach the chair. Leader, approach the chair.
Is responsible for oversighting the executive branch of government by ensuring budget provisions are complied with, and observes that the recent examination reveals that there is no law conferring entitlement or excluded some beneficiaries from the national budget. The cognizance of the clamor by some government institutions to be exempted from the envelope system in the budgetary allocations, the House resolves to mandate the Committee on National Planning and Economic Development to investigate the beneficiaries of the national budget to determine their respective funding structure in accordance with the relevant laws and authorizations. B, to review the need and rationale for exemption of some government institutions from the envelope regime on the national budgetary system. C, to review the budget ceiling and develop a resourceful framework. And D, document all findings and submit to the House for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Boyega. Any seconder to that? Yes, doctor again. Not you. You are not the only doctor there. This one is not a herbalist, it's a medical doctor.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Dr. Adeshola Adidayo. I represent the people of Apapa from Lagos. I rise this afternoon to second the motion ably moved by my colleague. I so second. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Doc. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion is referred to Committee on National Planning and Economic Development. The 16th order of the day is a motion on the need to complete construction of Owa Junction, Orwa Edet Obo Nto Edino Road in Esien Udin, and Obot Akara local government area of Akwa Ibom, standing in the name of Honorable Patrick Umo. Honorable Patrick Umo, you are invited to move the motion. It's an infrastructure motion. Just go to the prayers. He's not here. Deputy Chairman of the Committee on Rules and Business, kindly step it down.
Speaker, as a mover of the motion is not to concede, as I wish to forward that this motion be stepped down for other legislation.
Thank you. Motion step down on the leave of the House. The 17th order of the day is a motion on a call to decongest Nigerian correctional services. Standing in the name of Honorable Chinedu Oga, Honorable Oga is invited to move the motion. Honorable Oga, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, and Right Honorable Comrade Chinedu Oga Owen, member representing Iko and the Zaza Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ebonyi State. I rise to move a motion call for the congestion of correction service in Nigeria. Note that Nigeria Correction Service, a federal entity under the Federal Ministry of Interior, is a part of the criminal justice system under the exclusive list. Also note that the Nigeria Prison Online were mandated to reform, rehabilitate, and ensure effective integration of offenders into the society in line with the universal acceptance standards. Worries that over 70,000 inmates in the country face inadequate facility despite the government effort, and some have not been charged with criminal cases, while some are unable to pay the fines imposed by the courts despite having their cases determined. It is disturbed that by the Nigerian criminal justice system is plagued by the few with the case often lingering without a resolution for years, thus overcrowding the correction centers in various geopolitical zones. Also disturbed that the data system revealed that federal offenders comprise the less than 10% in the correction system, inmates leaving over 90% to the state offenders. Alarming that overcrowding of the correction facilities has led to the hog revenue drains of the successive government, leading to the prison dislocated criminal and inability of the separate awaiting trials inmates from convicted ones. Concerned that the implementing of the criminal justice system, that the adoption of non-custodial measure would effectively reduce the overcrowding of the nation prison. Resolved to urge the federal and the state government to provide comprehensive reform of the country correction system, include modernizing the custodial center, building a new facilities, redesigning the bed system, propose legislation to allocate time for the speed dispensation of justice and reduce the number of the inmates awaiting trial. Examine the roles of the federal and the state government in the correction of inmates. Propose sustainable, effective solution to address the congestion in 244 jails nationwide and effective implementation of no custodial measure. Devise the promotion, effective reformation, rehabilitation, and reintegration of the inmates to utilize the prerogative of the mercy to grant amnesty to all the deserved inmates. Also urge the Federal Ministry of Justice to prevent delay in justice dispensation and enhance the process of meeting of the bail conditions. Further urge the security agents to avoid arbitrary arrest. Mandate the Committee of Justice to ensure compliance. Mr. Speaker, I hereby move.
Any seconder to this? Yes, the gentleman. Honorable colleague, I can't see your face clearly. The white cap.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague, my name is Architect Plenary 6th. I represent Surulere 2 Federal Constituency. I hereby support the motion ably moved by my brother, my friend, Honorable Oga. I so second. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think it's a straightforward motion, but I was thinking that your prayer limited it only to justice. And the correctional services borders on the mandate of Interior. Interior, not just justice. So, yes. Do you want to add it or you want to leave it with justice?
No, the reason why it's pure for justice is that it's now in exclusive list. Most of the state government are not doing what they're supposed to do.
and it's the duty and the constitutional mandate of the Minister of Justice to make sure that such are being implemented.
It's in concurrent list, not exclusive. It is now, it has moved from exclusive. I'm sure that is what
Yes,
you
it's
wanted to say.
concurrent, Yes, where state can build.
Yeah, you wanted
and
to say it's
construct.
concurrent, yes.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
So even if it's in concurrent, the part that will be done by the federal government, should, interior should be involved. So do you, can somebody come with amendment to, yes please, communicator. Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, my name is Honorable Kalejaya Deboye Paul. I represent the good people of Ajeromi Felodun Federal Constituency, the mini Nigeria. I'm from Lagos State, the state of aquatic splendor. I move an amendment to amend the prayers to add the Committee on Interior. I so amend.
Any seconder to that amendment? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I'm Honorable Saad Taura, representing the good people of Ringim and Taura Federal Constituency from Jigawa State. I stand to second the amendment heavily moved by honorable colleague, as it is important to be part of the prayers. I so second. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Those in support of this amendment say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in support of the motion as amended say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion is referred to Committee on Justice and Interior. The 18th order of the day is a motion on need to curb indiscriminate sale of drugs and lack of adherence to prescription policy in Nigeria. Standing in the name of Honorable Adamu Ibrahim Gamawa. Honorable Gamawa is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Adamu Ibrahim Gamawa from Gamawa Federal Constituency in Bauchi State. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise this afternoon to move a motion on the need to curb indiscriminate sale of drugs and lack of adherence to prescription policy in Nigeria. The House notes that lack of a prescription policy on drugs and indiscriminate drug sales by druggists, pharmacists, better medicine dealers, street vendors, staffed by unqualified personnel, ultimately leads to antibiotic resistance and drug abuse. Also notes that according to National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria, there is a frightening surge in the issue of drug abuse and misuse in Nigeria. The drug use prevalence statistics are 14.4% of productive age Nigerians, which is almost 3 times the global drug use prevalence of 5.5%. Concerned that a large percentage of drug abuse in Nigeria are prescription drugs obtained without proper prescription. Also worried that most of the drugs sold by illiterate and semi-literate drug hawkers are counterfeit, substandard, or expired, and therefore do not meet the quality, safety, and efficacy requirement of regulated medicines. Also aware that various empirical studies show that drug abuse is a significant facilitator of extremism, terrorism, violent crimes, and high school dropouts, which negatively affecting community health, security, stability, according to consumer ethics, consumer studies. Cognizant that if urgent actions are not taken to declare a state of emergency and allocate resources to the identification of drug abuse response and treatment, a national catastrophe of unimaginable dimension is in the offing. The House therefore resolves to urge the Federal Minister of Health to develop a prescription policy that must be enforced. Also urge the Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, as a matter of urgency, to close all illegal outlets of pharmaceutical products, including open drug markets, and ensure that only prescribed drugs are administered to patients by qualified health practitioners, and sanction airing pharmaceutical outlets. Number 3, further urge the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and National Agency for Food Drugs Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to collaborate with Standard Organization of Nigeria, National Orientation Agency, continuously sensitize the public about drug abuse. Lastly, mandate the committees on narcotics, drugs, healthcare services, National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, and legislative compliance to ensure compliance. Mr. Speaker, I so move. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Honorable Aliyu Aminu Garu, representing the good people of Bauchi Federal Constituency. I raise this afternoon to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Adamu Gamawa. I so second. Thank you.
So straightforward motion. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The motion is referred to the Committee on Narcotic Drugs, Health Care Services, National Agency for Drugs, Food and Drugs Administration and Control, and Legislative Compliance. The 19th order of the day is a motion on connecting Ringim Taura local government area to the national grid, standing in the name of Honorable Sada Wada Taura.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I got it correctly today.
Yes, you are very
Honorable
correct, Mr.
Taura
Speaker.
is invited to move the motion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Saad Taura, representing the good people of Ringim and Taura Federal Constituency from Jigawa State. I rise this afternoon to move a motion titled Connecting Ringim and Taura Local Government Area to the National Grid. The House notes the pivotal role electrical power supply plays in fostering socio-economic development within Ringim and Taura Federal Constituency. The concern is that the absence of electricity supply in Ringim and Taura local governments for more than a decade has caused serious repercussions on economic activities, education, and healthcare. This directly affecting the daily lives and the economic pursuit of the constituency. Mr. Speaker, sir, the House be aware of the recently completed Gagarawa 2 by 60 MBE 132-33 transformer capacity substation situated only 0.01 kilometer away of Taura local government area. These include communities Ajaura, Gujungu, Majia, Kwalam, Chukwaikwaiwa, Maji, Sabangarin Aya, and the Chukutu wards in Taura local government area. Likewise, Enduse, Ringim, Chaichai, Sintilimawa, Debi, Kerama wards, Karchi, Kapum Babushe, and Sankara, a Ringim local government area. The worry is that the prolonged deprivation of electricity supply has resulted in a gloomy effect over economic activities of the entire area, particularly affecting small businesses, schools, and hospitals. Also worried that the prolonged deprivation of electricity supply crisis has negatively impacted to the economic activities of the area, particularly affecting small businesses, schools, and hospitals. Hence, the need to connect Ringim and Taura Federal constituency to the national grid. The House resolved to mandate the Committee on Power to engage with the Transmission Company of Nigeria and the other relevant agencies to expedite immediate connection of Ringim and Taura local government to the national grid through the recently completed Gargara substation. The second prayer of the day is collaborating with TCN and other concerned parties to ensure the reconnection of the Ringim and Taura Federal constituency to the national grid and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. At this junction, Mr. Speaker, sir, my honorable colleagues, I so submit. Thank you very much.
Any seconder to this? You've been raising your hand all day. I want you to second it.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Honorable Sani Egidi Abdurrahim is my name, representing the good people of Ajakuta Federal Constituency. I am from Kogi State. I rise this afternoon to second the motion raised by my honorable colleagues to connect his constituency to the national grid. I so second.
Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion is referred to Committee on Power. The 20th order of the day is a motion on non-compliance with corporate social responsibility obligations towards oil-producing communities by ExxonMobil Company Limited in Akwa Ibom State, standing in the name of Honorable Oduak Alphonsus Odudo. Honorable Odudo is invited to move the motion, but please, it's too long. Try and shorten it as much as you can if you're here. Is he here? Deputy, move that the motion be stepped down.
Excellency, Mr. Speaker, the mover of the motion is not on seat, so I wish to suggest that the motion be stepped down for further legislative action. Thank you.
Motion is hereby stepped down by the leave of the House. Please, the 21st order of the day is a motion on the need to regulate cryptocurrency trading platform in Nigeria. Signed in the name of Honorable Mukta Tolani Shagaya. Honorable Shagaya is invited to move the motion. I'm told that he's not here as well. Please, motion step down by the leave of the House. The 22nd order of the day is a consideration of two reports standing in the name of the House Leader. The House Leader will move for their consideration. House Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do consider HB 501 and HB 502 as listed in consideration of reports. I so move. Madaki.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, Ali Usani Madaki is my name, and I represent the Alapero constituency of Coniston. I stand to second the motion that the two bills be read for the second time as requested by the House Leader. I so support.
Thank you very much. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, please move that the report on the 23rd order of the day, the 5 report be stepped down. Members, please always ensure that your report get to the office of the chairman of committee of the whole ahead of time. We cannot be seeing reports just when we come to the floor here. This motion, step it down. We will not going to look at them. Only report that has been attended to by the committee of the whole chairman will appear on this consideration of report. Chairman, rules and business, please take note. Henceforth, no matter should be published for consideration of report if we have not studied it. Okay? All reports must come to the chairman way ahead of time, get approval before it gets listed by your office. Please move that will step down the 5 reports.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that reports number 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 be stepped down for further legislative attention.
Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleague, I stand to second the motion that this report be stepped down as requested by the House Leader. I so second.
Those in support of this say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Reports are hereby stepped down to further consideration by the committee of the whole chairman. Leader, please move that we go into committee of the whole to consider the 2 reports.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do resolve into committee of the whole to consider the 2 reports 22 and 23. I so move.
Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I stand to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I so
Those in
second.
support of the House go into Committee of the Whole to consider report say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The House hereby refers to Committee of the Whole to consider bills that is meant for consideration. Most distinguished colleagues, the first bill to be considered is for an act to introduce preventive measures and teaching of breast and cervical cancer into the curriculum of compulsory subjects, civic education for senior secondary schools in Nigeria and for related matters. I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the bill. Leader, 1 minute, please.
Thank you, Mr.
Because I want to leave here by 2.
Thank you very much, Chairman. This bill was from the Ninth Assembly, had gone through the House and the Senate, and was given concurrence, but couldn't get assent. That is why it is here again. Essentially, is to insert into the curriculum some knowledge and understanding on how to do self-check for male and female, nothing technical. Thank you, sir.
The question is that 4 clauses be made part of this bill. Clause 1, Clause 1, Clause 2, Clause 3, Clause 4, explanatory memorandum, long title. The second bill to be considered is for an act to introduce preventive measures and teaching of sexual gender-based violence in the curriculum of compulsory subjects, civic education for all secondary schools in Nigeria, and for related matters. I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the bill. Leader, 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the same as the previous bill that got into the president. Essentially, it's gender-based violence. It doesn't apply only to men, but also to women, and give the telltales on how to deal with it in civic education. I so present.
Thank you very much. The question is that 4 clauses be made part of this act. Clause 1, Clause 2, Clause 3, Clause 4, explanatory memorandum, long title. Leader, please move that we revert to plenary to report progress.
Mr. Chairman, I rise to move that the House do resolve the 2 committee of the whole and for the chairman to give reports. Back to plenary. For the chairman to give report to the House.
Please.
Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion that the House do revert back to plenary. I so second.
Those in support of this, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The House hereby reverts to plenary to report progress from the Committee of the Whole. Most distinguished colleagues, it is the Chairman's report from the Committee of the Whole on the bill for an act to introduce preventive measures and teaching of breast and cervical cancers in the curriculum of the compulsory subject civic education for senior secondary schools in Nigeria and for related matters. The House considered that and approved clauses 1 to 4, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. The House in Committee of the Whole considered a report on a bill for an act to introduce preventive measures and teaching of sexual gender-based violence into the curriculum of the compulsory subjects, civic education for all secondary schools in Nigeria and for related matters, and approved clauses 1 to 4, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. Please, Leader, engage one member of the House to get the names of those who are seated here. All the members, close the door. All the members who are here, get me their names, phone numbers, and their constituencies if possible. Those people who are here by now. Send one of the sergeant at arms to get me the names and their numbers. It's very important. Please, leader, also move that the House adopt the progress report from the Committee of the Whole and make it a working instrument of the House.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do adopt the reports from the Committee of the Whole as ably rendered by the Speaker, and for these reports to become part of the working documents of the House. I so move.
Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleague, I stand to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I do second.
Those in support that the House do adopt the progress report from the Committee of the Whole as a working instrument of the House of Representatives, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The report now becomes a working instrument of the House of Representatives as adopted by the House. Leader, please move that this House do adjourn to tomorrow, same time, same place. What is your point of order? You want to stay longer? Page what? Yes. Is your microphone on? Come to the one that is working. You need to be recorded.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I was at page 28, order 3, rule 2, 3, and 4. Any member shall, to the best of his ability, regularly attend the sittings of the House and those of the committees of which is a member. Any member unable to attend the sittings of the House shall acquaint the Speaker as early as possible of his inability to attend. So, Mr. Speaker, the point I'm making is that in a House of 360 individuals, it does not augur well that not up to 30 people are sitting at this particular moment. And I have checked the committee meetings for today. There are not more than 8. So even if you times it by 30 individuals per committee, that is also not a justification that by this moment members have left the sitting of the parliament without express permission from the Speaker. So I want a situation whereby we must find a way to include in our rules penalties and sanctions or things that should discourage members leaving sittings of the House before the closure of the business without express permission from the Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, your point of order is actually sustained because if you check the meetings of the committees behind the order paper, you will see that the commencement time for the committee meetings, they are 3 p.m. They are not 2 p.m. And we are closing now. This is just 2 o'clock. So anybody who claims that is attending committee meeting by 2 o'clock when the House is supposed to be sitting is infringing the provisions of this order 3 that you just raised. And please, caucus leaders, you need to send messages across to the members of your caucus. We'll be taking these attendance most time at the end of sections like this to know how many of us that are really serious in what we are doing. But I also suffice that to say that some are on oversight function. Some members are not here. They have gone on oversight function. Some have also traveled for capacity building. But even at that, the position of Honorable Ikenga is very clear that we can do better than this. Yes, Doctor, is it still on this same issue? You should use a microphone. You are not addressing a village meeting.
Sorry, sir. I just want to point out one of the excuses you gave, that we were on oversight function. We just came back this morning from Asaba, and I was in the house. So there are some members that even though they are on oversight functions, they still come. I came directly from the airport. And so are some of the members in that committee. So it's not a general rule. We still have some exceptions. Thank you very much for the personal information.
Still on this issue? Yes, let me hear you.
Thank you, Excellency. For the Public Accounts Committee, sir, our hearing usually starts at 10 a.m. But for today, actually, there is no meeting of the Public Accounts Committee. I just want to make it known to you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Leader.
Mr. Speaker, following what my colleague just raised, is an issue we need to decide either collectively or in the executive session. The Public Accounts Committee has no business meeting at 10 a.m. when the members should be in the house. They were elected in the first instance to be here to represent their people. And that in the Night House, I complained bitter. I was a member and I never attended because they start meeting when we start meeting in the floor. And my people elected me to be here to deal with not just one committee. So I think I'm happy you raised it, but what they are doing in that committee is also wrong. Every day, they meet every day when the house is sitting.
You know, the leadership have to look into it. I don't think it's healthy for parliamentary practice and, you know, the participation of the members. You are shortchanging the members who are supposed to be involved, you know, during our national debate on issues that will impact their various constituencies. So we might have to resolve that. Ask the chairman of the committee to have an audience with me as soon as possible. Still on this issue? Yes, let's have one more and then we'll close. I think you don't want to go. I want us to leave 2 o'clock. You want to stay longer?
Your Excellency, just a minute, sir. Committee on procurement traveled to Kigali, and some are still here that will make the trip from tomorrow. So I'm excusing them out. So, but there should be a kind of mechanism or a rule, general rule, that will always spell it out. If somebody want to travel, then a kind of letter should be written to your office or even the, so with that, the people will be exempted.
Yeah, thank you. Even if you are traveling as a committee, you need to, it's in our rule, you have to notify the leadership. It's in our rule, Rule 9. Order 9 is very clear on that. You will see if you are traveling overseas, you need to also indicate so that the leadership will know how many people at every point in time that are outside the country. I think the points have been made and the order have been sustained. The question for adjournment of meeting have been, let me hear it from you. Our leader, please come. You wanted to inform me on something. Yes? Yeah, you were approaching me and then you went back. Let me honor you because you're our leader. All right, the motion for adjournment has been moved and it has been seconded. And I'm sure that issues raised by Honorable Kenga, we will discuss it further when we go into executive section in the coming days. I want to ask the question, those in support of the motion that we adjourn to tomorrow, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The House is hereby adjourned to tomorrow, same time, same place.